This is Lou from Lou's Antiques and Collectibles, and today this is going to be our project. This video is how to decorate sleds for Christmas, and I buy sleds throughout the summer, and then when it gets close to Christmas time, I start to pull them out. I put them in the different malls that I'm in, and I also take them to shows. So I have a variety of them I'm going to do today. This one is one I did before, but the lettering is coming off. What a mess. So I think I'm going to paint that one. And then these three, this one's quite nice. This is a flexible flyer one. This is really nice. I'm going to figure out how to decorate, and I'm the type of person, I try to use what I have. I go around in the summertime and I buy ribbons and flowers and everything I think I'm going to need kind of for the year, and I have a little stash of them. So this is the stuff I kind of put together, and I'm going to see what I can do with this stuff to decorate these sleds. I may have to go to the craft store, but like I said, I try to use everything I have. So this is the stuff I kind of dug out all the boxes down in my basement, and we'll see how this goes. So this is the first sled we're going to start on, and this one is basically a repair job. The greenery on the top seems fine. It's been in the barn since COVID started, so I think the temperatures kind of ruined the lettering. I had put vinyl lettering on here, and I shellacked it, and it just didn't do well. So what I did is I took the letters that I had, and I traced them with one of these little white pens like this, and I'm just going to peel them off, and I think what I'm going to do is paint them this time around. So I just kind of use these letters like a stencil, and they peeled right off, and I'm going to paint them. I have put these letters on other sleds, and they do quite well, but I think because it had been in the barn for so long, and it just didn't do well with those temperatures. So now I'm going to go ahead and paint this. I removed all the vinyl lettering, and what I did is I took that white pencil and I outlined it so I would have a place to a border to paint to it. So right now I'm just taking some acrylic paint, and I'm going to paint the lettering on here, because even though I had vinyl lettering, that usually works pretty good, but in this case it just didn't last. So I'm just going to go through and paint all the letters, and we're going to kind of rejuvenate this sled so we can go to some upcoming shows that I have. Probably take a couple coats to really get it looking nice. So let's do that right now. So we got all of our letters painted on this sled, and it is starting to snow out here. That is not special. So I got to move this inside. I'm going to also fix up this garland here on the top. I'm going to probably get rid of this bell. I might put a pair of old skates there instead. Try to rejuvenate this one a little bit to make it look a little nicer to go to the shows and stuff that I have coming up. So our snow stopped. If you don't like the weather in Michigan, wait about 10 minutes and it usually changes. So it's not really that cold out here today, but we had to have a little bit of snow just to kind of aggravate me while I was trying to paint those letters. So that is drying, and I think with this one here, it's going to be really simple. This is a really nice old sled. It's got the old label on it. I don't really want to paint this. It will ruin the value of the antique part of the sled. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wipe it down a bit, and I'm going to just go ahead and attach this reef on there. And I think that's all we need to do on this one. The things with these sleds is, especially at the vintage market, there'll be hundreds of sleds there, and you have to make yours stand out a little bit, be a little bit nicer than everybody else's, so they hopefully purchase yours first. So let's go ahead and attach this reef onto this, and it's just a plain reef, but I buy a lot of the old plastic poinsettia flowers and things like that because they are older and they're vintage, and I like to incorporate vintage elements into my vintage sleds. So let's go ahead and do that. Here is our flexible flyer sled all done. All I did was add a reef to it. I actually had this reef from a door I was displaying, so it was nice that I already had it. It's pretty much ready to go, and I didn't want to, like I said, ruin the integrity of the sled itself. So I just attached a reef, and all I did was just take some ribbon on the back here, and I just tied it onto it, and that's all I did to that. So this one was super easy to do. So let's move on to the next one. Here's another one that's another flexible flyer. It's a smaller sled, but it's another one I don't really want to paint on. I don't really want to do anything like that. Sorry about that. On there. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to my pile of stuff here that I have to work with. I think what I'm going to do is ending up maybe put this reef. This is an old candle holder, but it's old plastic. And put this maybe on the top. And then I have these sets of old skates that actually came with one of the sleds I bought. I'm not sure how old they are. They look relatively old, but I'm going to hang those from that one. So that'll be a fairly simple one too. So let's go ahead and do that. We put the plastic candle reef on the top there, and I tied it with some twine just on the back here like this. It's always good to have this kind of twine around. I carry it in my bag when I go to the malls because you never know what you're going to need it for. And it kind of looks rustic, so it looks good on everything. And then what I did is I took these old skates that came with another sled and I tied them on. I think it turned out pretty cute. So now we got 2 of them done. Our other one that we painted is still drying. And then we'll be working on that one. So I think what I'm going to do is work on this one here. And this is another flexible flyer. And I think I'm also going to do the same type of thing where I put the greenery in the top and the old ice skates on it. Because like I said, some of these old ones I don't really want to paint on them. So I'm not going to paint on this one. Now this one here, this little one that I have here, this is like a reproduction sled. It was made to like hold cards or whatever. Now that one I'm going to do some painting on. I think I'm going to paint some snowflakes on it. So for this one here that's next, what I think I'm going to do is I have some of these plastic berries, which are probably from an old floral arrangement. I got it all at garage sales. I don't think I'm going to use the poinsettias. So this is the one we're going to focus on, and I'm going to go over to my table here and see what I got, what I can use. I think I'm going to use these plastic berries. I have some plastic poinsettias too, but I think I'm going to hang them down like that, and they don't really look good that way. And I have some old burlap ribbon. I think I'm going to make a bow on the top of that, and then I think I'm going to also use the skates on that one. I have one more pair of skates, so I think that'll look kind of cute. So let's put that together. So here we have our next one all done. I put some ribbon on the top, and I used the plastic berries, and I found a few little plastic poinsettias I did put around the ribbon. It kind of needed it. And it's I hung the skates on there just like the previous one. And let me show you the back. So we're getting these done. They're starting to look pretty good. Getting ready for the show. The back, the skates are just tied, and I have all the ribbons and everything tied with a burlap string. In fact, I got a string there I got to snip off a little bit. So this one is done. So my Joy one is finally dried, and I took the bell off the top. I don't know, it just wasn't hitting me right. I didn't think it looked that well, but I was looking at my table of goodies, and I found this. I have no idea where I got it, but I probably got it in a craft box someplace at a garage sale, and I thought, boy, that would look perfect right there. So I'm going to go ahead and put that one on there, and I think this one will be all done. So this is the last sled that we're going to decorate today, and this is a modern one. I got it at a garage sale, but I had all intentions of painting these snowflakes on it. I was going to stencil them, but then I got a really good idea, and I remembered that my friend Marcia, so thanks Marcia, gave me these Victorian Christmas cards. So I thought this sled is actually for cards. There's little hooks on them. What a perfect thing. A way of displaying it, but put some Victorian Christmas cards on there. So that's what I'm going to do. They're little postcards, and they're just beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and clip all of these on here, and we'll see what that looks like. And here's the sled here with the Victorian postcards on it. Thank you, Marcia, again. And I ended up putting a little ribbon on the top, and this one's ready to go. So let's take a look at all of them together. I think we're ready to go. Here's all of our sleds that we decorated today, and they're ready to go to the next vintage market show or to one of the malls that I'm in. And I'll show you some up closes of them. And here's the one we painted the lettering on. Turned out quite nice. And like I said with the old vintage ones, I didn't really want to do anything to ruin the integrity of the sled. So I did stuff that would be all removable. So with these three that were vintage sleds, that's what I did. And then our last one was a reproduction sled for decor, and we put some these nice old cards on it. It turned out quite nicely. So that's our show for today. This is Lou saying thanks for watching, and see you again. Bye.